up a little louder, but can everybody hear me? All right, I'm going to do my very best to scream and shout today so my voice can be heard and y'all can get learned. All right. Are you guys ready to rally today? Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Just as a reminder, there's seating for the disabled, anybody with mobility issues up here in front. So give space for them if they need it, okay? And once again, there are masks up front if you need them. My name is Jess. I use she, her, they, them pronouns. I grew up here in Montana. I've been here for a while. And I'm a part of the Black Student Union here at Montana State University. Yeah. All right, I want all of you to know, because some of you might not know this, but today we are joining thousands of people across America with the Black Lives Matter movement National Call to Action Day. Give yourselves a round. The Black Lives Matter movement has declared this summer the Freedom Summer. And today is also Indigenous People Day. So today is a day of significance. Today is a day of change. Last Sunday, we had 1,500 people show up. Today, we have over 3,000 people. Woo! 3,000 of you showed up to support the Black and Indigenous lives and people of Bozeman. All right, this is the biggest rally in Bozeman history. Now on Sunday, when we started this, when we had our rally, I thought we would be lucky to have 100 of y'all show up. I didn't know there was this level of support in our community in Montana for those of you who drove all this way. I am so proud to live in this town. I'm so happy to see all of your faces and to see how many of you showed up and stepped up. So thank you. For those of you who don't know, we are Bozeman United for Racial Justice is putting on this rally. We are a BIPOC-led organization. Now what that means is Black, Indigenous, people of color. That's to recognize the specific history that Black and Indigenous folks have in America and in Montana specifically. Indigenous people had their land stolen by America, and Black people were enslaved by America. And so we are emphasizing that these people are important, that they matter, and that's why we are led by BIPOC and lifting their voices. This rally is put on in partnership with the Montana State University Black Student Union and the Montana Racial Equity Project. And we are committed, I hope, just as strongly as you are, to building a Bozeman that is welcoming and safe for all. We want this rally to be informative and educational and in part a celebration, but before that starts, I have to make something very clear for everybody, okay? This is a non-violent demonstration. Yes, exactly, thank you. And for some of y'all, I want to explain why. We're fighting to end the violence that we see against BIPOC in this country. We're fighting to stop these lost lives. We're fighting to stop the deaths and stop the violence. Yeah, so if we're trying to end violence, why would we instigate it? And trust me, I understand your pain, I understand your anger, and I understand your rage. I have been angry for a long, long time. Some of you are only just now getting angry, but I've been angry my whole life. But think about who really gets hurt if you decide to instigate violence, because it isn't the white people gathered here, it's the BIPOC that are responsible for this rally. So the way to show up for this rally is to follow the Black and Indigenous organizers who have worked hard to make this peaceful. If you are claiming to be a white ally today, then you need to listen to what your BIPOC organizers and leaders are telling you, explicitly telling you what to do. And if you don't follow our guidelines today, you don't care about lifting up BIPOC voices, you only care about yourself. I want you to support everyone around you to not engage with agitators at all. You are not a hero for jumping on a car, for flipping them off, for cussing them out, for yelling at them, anything. We will be disciplined in our peacefulness. And if you don't, you will endanger the lives and safety of every Black, Indigenous person of color here in Bozeman. If there are white supremacists, if there are counter-protesters, and there may well be, do not give them attention. Do not speak to them. Do not speak to the police. We have de-escalators in blue. We have people here to take care of that for you, because this is not about them. This is not about the people against us. This is not about the people who would try and fight us. This is about us. This is about solidarity. This is about supporting the BIPOC in this town and lifting us up. When we have these agitators, remind others around you to continue singing. Start one of our songs up again if you need to. You are all responsible for making this peaceful and ensuring others around you do the same. Focus on centering the victims here, not the agitators. The BIPOC around you, they need your support. So I want all of you to raise your hand, okay? Raise your hand with me. Every single person in this crowd, all right? And I want you to repeat after me, all right? I commit to making this protest nonviolent and peaceful. All right, we're gonna say it one more time all together. Lift your hands back up. We're not done. I commit to making this protest nonviolent and peaceful.
It's good to see everybody. Little bit of passion, you know. I don't know how to make this thing work. Oh, wait a second. I'm gonna sing an honor song. I'm gonna start off. They asked me to sing a song, so I'm gonna sing an honor song for everybody out there, but especially those that have had their breath taken from them by the police officers. One of the reasons that we're all motivated to come here today to seek change, and that their lives will not be lost in vain, and that we'll do the right thing.
Hey,
Okay, thank you so much. I just can't tell you how good it is to see everybody. Just beyond words. But I have a canned speech here, so don't worry. This one here is an acknowledgement that I was asked to give before we kind of get things going this afternoon. So we would like to take a moment before we proceed to acknowledge the gratitude we have towards the many who call this valley their homelands. The indigenous people, the Blackfeet, Absaloga, Shoshone, Salish, Kootenai, Cheyenne, Lakota, and others who have lived here since time immemorial and protected the waters, land, air, and animals. May we proceed with the spirit of respect and generosity that these nations have displayed. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for organizing this. The young people, you know, these young people, they've got a lot of challenges that they're going to be facing, and they're off to a good start. You know, they've done a lot already in their short lives, and I want to thank them for their leadership, for bringing us all together here. You know, so awesome. My name, I'm a member of the Absaloga Nation, and my name that was given to me means Old Buffalo Bull. And I was told when I was a young man by an elder, you know, you got a good name. You know what a buffalo does? You know how a buffalo behaves? When the wind starts to blow, when the storms come and threaten them, they go right into it. They don't turn their back and run. They face it. That's right, and that's what we're doing here today. We're facing something. That's how you become mature adult. That's what I was told. So my name has taken me a lot of different places, and it's brought me here today. And I'm thankful today for the breath that I have. The breath that I use to sing that song. The breath that I use to laugh with my friends. To say a silent prayer. To whisper to my loved ones. They say, I was told when the Creator first made people, He put them together and He reached them up to His mouth and He blew the sacred life into them, giving us our start. I was told when we use the pipe in ceremony, the tobacco in our breath goes to the Creator. He knows what's in our heart when we do that. That our words are sacred, what comes out of our mouth, our breath. I was told that when you're born, your breath is a right, not a privilege. You have the right to your breath. And that's why we're here, because we want to stand up for all our black brothers and sisters who have lost their breath wrongfully. And we're not asking for change. We're demanding change today. And we're telling our lawmakers, you're going to respect every single breath. Every single breath. And we're going to outlaw chokeholds. We're going to outlaw kneeling on necks. We don't do that to human beings. We don't do that. I'm glad that we can show solidarity to our black brothers and sisters who have faced this trauma for way too long. This is our moment in time to change history. We're going to seize it, but it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be quick. But it starts today. It starts today. And we take a big step in 4 months when we use one of our most basic rights. We vote. We vote. We make the decision to put people in there who love each other and who make laws to protect all of us. That we won't have to see another horrific death ever again. That's why we're here. I'm committed to that. I know all of you are. For a better life for our children. There's a lot of people who don't agree with us. Don't waste your time on them. You're not going to change their minds. I know that. We know that. We're the moral majority here, right here. We're the moral majority. We've got the votes, people. We are the ones. We just need to do it. I love you guys. I thank you. We'll see you at the voting booth.
We love lifting up Black, Indigenous people of color, hearing their perspectives, hearing their words, especially when they're such incredible speakers and singers. I have behind me some of the people in this town, some of the people that are Black, Indigenous, that are people of color, that are here for this movement, and are here for your support, and are here to make some changes. These are the people you're fighting for, okay? All right, we're gonna lead you in a song, and this song is important. It's a song that was sung during the Civil Rights Movement. It was first recorded in the 1920s, and they sang it as they marched for their rights, as they marched to end segregation, and we will sing it as we march today. And I want you to specifically use this song when we see those agitators, those counter-protesters, and they try to distract us. Use this song, and we're gonna let them know we're not gonna let nobody turn us around. Give Naomi a hand.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Naomi. I go by she, her pronouns. I am, wow, blown away at how many people I can see right now. Like, I can't even see the end of it. Like, there's so many people. Oh, my God. All right. I'm going to teach y'all a song. So when I point to myself like this, that means you listen to me. And then when I point to y'all, that means y'all repeat me. All right? Does that sound good? Yeah. All right, we're gonna learn the song. So it goes. Ain't gonna let nobody, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. All right, let's do this first part right here. So it goes, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. And then this line here goes, I'm gonna keep on walking. I'm gonna keep on walking. Keep on talking. Keep on talking. Marching into freedom land. Y'all sound beautiful. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's do all together. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Turn me around, turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching into freedom land. Louder, let's go! Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching into freedom land. All right, one last thing. We can replace the word nobody with things that could be in our way, things that could stop us possibly from going on forward. Some of those things are racist. They ain't gonna stop us, right? They're not gonna stop us, right? Are they gonna stop us? No, hell no. What else could stop us? The jailhouse. Is that gonna stop us? No! Is that gonna stop us? All right, so we're gonna sing the song and we're gonna change the nobody to racist, policeman, jailhouse. We're gonna replace those words as we sing it. Does that sound good? All right, so it goes. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. Wait, one more time, I screwed that up. Okay, we're gonna use the word racist. Ain't gonna let racist turn me around. Turn me around, clap, turn me around. Ain't gonna let racist turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching into freedom land. Let's do policemen. Ain't gonna let policemen turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let policemen turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, marching into freedom land. Jailhouse, ain't gonna let the jailhouse turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let the jailhouse turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on marching, walking into freedom land. Woo! Give yourselves a round of applause. That was beautiful.
Remember that song, we're gonna sing it with people try to agitate us, try to instigate something, try and distract us. It's like Judith said at our last rally, we will not be intimidated. I wanna hear y'all say it, we will not be intimidated. We will not be intimidated. Exactly, okay. All right, can I get a round of applause for my beautiful singers up here? All right, let me introduce you to someone I know dearly. Her name is Mishaela Cox. Unfortunately, Mishaela can't be with us today because she had a family emergency. Let's hope she's safe and everything's okay. But she wrote us a speech for this rally, and she's been working with us to help organize through MTRAP. So I'm going to introduce you to her, and then my good friend Julian is going to do her speech for her. All right, because it was beautifully written and it needs to be heard. Mishaela Cox is the Program Events and Outreach Coordinator for the Montana Racial Equity Project. She served Defending Democracy Fellow with the Western States Center Combating White Nationalism. She graduated from the University of Montana with the second class of African American Study majors, a program with a ripe 52-year history in this state. And during her time, she served as president of the University of Montana's Black Student Union. She's an incredible woman, and I'm sad you guys don't get to see her today, but she's a wonderful Black woman and is part of the reason why I feel I need to fight. And she wanted me to say go Grizz, but I don't know about that. All right, and then Julian, I've known him for a while. He's the current advisor at the Black Student Union. Julianne Collins has called Bozeman home for the past 10 years. He is a graduate of Dartmouth College with a degree in sociology and has received his master's in adult and higher education from MSU. He's a board member for Hope Mountain and alumni of the Chamber of Commerce Leadership Bozeman, a community partner of the Montana Racial Equity Project, and like I said, the advisor of the Black Student Union at MSU. Okay, he's here to read Mishaela's speech. Let's give him a round of applause.
Again, I'm Julianne Collins. I use pronouns he, his. I'm here to talk for my friend Mishaela and to lift her voice so all you can hear it And I hope that when you hear it, you go ahead and lift her voice. And I'm sure other black folks in the audience can relate to this, keep receiving messages from non-black people asking me how I am. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm feeling heavy. Heavy from carrying the weight of every black person that has been killed by white supremacy. Heavy from the weight of the racial slurs being yelled at my loved ones. Heavy from carrying the weight of anxiety and fear that what happened to them could happen to me. And heavy from the burden to fix a problem my people didn't create. And I'm angry. Oh boy, I'm angry. I'm angry that the weight we carry daily, the weight of our ancestors, is only felt when one of us and one of ours has been murdered. Ah! I thought I'd see outrage and solidarity when Michael Brown was shot 6 times with his hands in the air. I thought I'd see outrage and solidarity when Trayvon Martin was killed while walking home to see his father. Hell, I thought I'd see outrage when his killer, George Zimmerman, sold the gun he killed the child with for $250,000. I thought I'd see outrage when 12-year-old Tamir Rice was shot while playing with his toy gun. I thought I'd see outrage when Tanisha Anderson was killed by police while having a mental health episode. I thought I'd see outrage when Tatiana Jefferson was shot and killed in her home. I thought I'd see outrage when 7-year-old Ayanna Stanley Jones was shot while sleeping in her grandmother's home. But instead, I was met with excuse after excuse and justification after justification for the murder of black people. I was battled on every part of every case. The only place I found solace was with my black and Latinx friends who knew how to command any dance floor no matter how full or how white. My only solace came from the joy of celebrating our culture and our ancestors as we danced and laughed all night long. While writing this speech, I kept asking myself, how do I feel? How do I feel about the thousands of people protesting in Bozeman in solidarity with Black Lives Matter? And I realized I felt angry. I feel angry that I have spent the last 6 years of my life advocating for racial justice and white solidarity in this state, and I'm tired. I'm tired of carrying the burden of my ancestors once bore. And I need to know, once this is over, how will you be fighting for us? I need y'all to start believing and listening to black voices while we can still draw breath. As Erica Hart said, it's the white supremacy culture that white people and folks committed to whiteness that don't condemn racism on a regular basis that leads to situations like this. The white passivity for actual meaningful change has been a hindrance, not a help. Bring the same energy when you witness everyday acts of racial abuse. I want to see the outrage when black folks are being followed around while shopping. I want to see the outrage at local police claiming they're not racist and telling black folks to go back to where they come from. I want to see outrage at racist comments from your family members. I want to see the outrage at elected officials who don't advocate for racially equitable policies. I want to see the outrage when a black person has their hair or body grabbed without their permission. Don't touch it. I want to see this outrage when your child's history books don't represent the full black experience. And I want to see the outrage when your professor doesn't adequately address racist comments in the classroom. This same energy y'all have right now, I want to see that same energy, the same level of outrage at the everyday racial abuse that me and other black folks endure on a daily basis. Not a yearly basis, not a monthly basis, a daily basis. You have to make the direct connections between everyday racial abuses and the death of George Floyd. So, if you're a business owner in Bozeman, Montana, listening to me speak right now, I ask that you take the Bozeman Freedom Pledge and commit to fighting for black lives, even once this is over and the smoke clears. I repeat, I refuse to settle for anything less. Not like my life depends on it, but because my life depends on it. To my black friends, my black family, I'm with you. I love you so much. And I know that hashtag after hashtag, we've been in this same place of rage and fear, and it is so valid. And in this time, I ask that we also value our rest and our joy. A function of white supremacy is to keep us constantly hustling, working till we can't work anymore, constantly viewing dead black bodies and being re-traumatized again and again. Our bodies have always been about production and pain. And now here we are yet again, working tirelessly to educate folks and fix a problem we did not create. So please, please rest. Take a break from it all. Find your time, take a break. You don't have to be in it 24/7. I know I said it's daily, but we don't need to be in it 24/7. I'm partially sharing this for you and partially sharing this for myself as a reminder. You are valuable black life. You are worth advocating for. So I ask my black brothers and sisters, how are you protecting yourself? How are you protecting your own spirit? It is an act of rebellion to prioritize our own health and our own well-being, especially in times like this. We must put ourselves first as a full divestment from white supremacy. Our ancestor, Audre Lorde, said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." Rest is a part of our resistance. So Mishaela wanted to offer up some ideas of how we could rest. 1, maybe take a longer shower in silence. Take some time to yourself. Go ahead, dance. Dance to your favorite music. Go ahead and pray on things. Taking regular breaks from social media. And you know what? Don't worry about immediately responding to texts and email. Take the time for yourself. So, to my black friends, stay safe. Our ancestors fought for us to be in this moment right now, and they have left us so many tools to fight for our lives. You are loved, you are protected, and your life fucking matters. Mishaela Cox, everybody.
So after hearing Mishaela's words, I want to ask, are you guys ready to step up? Are you ready to step up? You are only here standing on some grass, listening to me talk, that is not enough. After this, what are you doing? How are you supporting this movement? Are you donating? Are you telling your friends and family? Are you talking about it? Building a sign, taking a picture, and coming for a few hours didn't save George Floyd, and it's not going to save anyone else. It's like Mishaela said, she's been advocating for 6 years, and nothing's changed. So let's put an end to it here, all right? Okay, so our main focus for today. All right, Bozeman has been growing, all right? It's been getting bigger and bigger, as we can see today, but it's also been getting more diverse. And we need to think about, when we grow, how are we growing our anti-racist policies, all right? How are we growing to make sure that people of color are welcome in this town? How are we growing to commit to changing this town? People like to think that Bozeman and Montana are only mountains, only open sky, only beautiful trees. And while that is true, we have to recognize that there's still hatred here, there's still racism here, there's still aggression here, there's still discrimination here. We are not immune to what has been happening in other communities in America. We are not immune to what happened to George Floyd. Just because we're in Montana, just because it's beautiful here, does not mean we are immune. People of color here still get pulled over and threatened by police. People of color here still get death threats on social media when they're successful. People of color here still feel uncomfortable walking into public spaces. We are not immune to what's happening everywhere else. It's here too. And if you want Montana to stay beautiful, we have to make sure it's anti-racist too. Like I said earlier, the Black Lives Matter movement has declared this summer Freedom Summer. We want freedom from oppression, freedom from discrimination, freedom from police brutality, freedom from racism. And the time is now. Now is the time to make an intervention in Bozeman's history. Now is the time to put Bozeman on the path towards justice for all, because if not now, then when? Today, we are going to ask every single business on Main Street. We are going to ask them to sign our Freedom Pledge. It is a commitment to anti-racism, not just words. We want your commitment to make change. We're calling these businesses because they are pillars of our community. Others will take their cues from them. We want them to lead by example and start the path to change and the path to anti-racism. There's 4 parts to this pledge. Number 1, we want them to adopt some anti-racist policies. Number 2, we want them to accept feedback from the BIPOC of this community, like myself, like the people behind me. If I tell you there's someone following me in your store, do something about it. If I tell you that someone called me a slur in your store, make sure that it's me who is welcome, not them. of this pledge is we want them to engage in institutional transformation. Because like we said earlier, there is a history in America. 400 years since the first time white Europeans stepped foot on this land, they took it. Since the first time a black person stepped foot on this land, they were enslaved. And it wasn't just that, it's Jim Crow laws. It's all of these different steps. It's segregation, it's police brutality. Time and time again, for centuries, for the bulk of American history, the laws have been against us. The people have been against us. So now we have systemic racism. It's not just now. It's not just George Floyd. It's decades, and it's years, and it's centuries. So we want to take those policies that say, I can't wear my natural hair. And I can't just wear my natural hair. I can't wear my braids either. I can't wear my dreads either. I can't have my hoops in. I can't talk the way I want to talk. We want to take all of those, get rid of them. And the fourth part of this freedom pledge is to support the racial justice work like the work we are doing ourselves that's happening in Bozeman. After this gathering, we are going to march onto Main Street. We're going to line up on Main Street 6 feet apart so that we can welcome businesses to step up and be ready to cheer them on when they do. Thank you. We're going to have another speaker on this floor talking with us once again. All right. Her name is Vasu, and they are the first generation Indian American with a disability. Listen to how hard it is to be in this community when you come from such a background. They're the co-founder of Earth Tone Outside Montana, elevating BIPOCs in the outdoors. They're an anti-racist, a disability justice organizer, and a professional athlete for the North Face, working to decolonize the outdoor industry.
Thank you, everyone. So many familiar faces. Thank you. Before I get started, I wanted to do one thing. Today is Brianna Taylor's birthday. She was wrongfully murdered in her own home in Louisville, Kentucky, and is a victim of police brutality. I would like us all to sing her happy birthday. Are y'all ready? Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Brianna Taylor. Happy birthday to you. Rest in power, Brianna Taylor. Thank you all for taking part today. I stand here today as a visitor on the stolen lands of the Crow, Salish Kootenai, Northern Cheyenne, Blackfeet, Shoshone-Bannock, and so many other nations that call this a common ancestral hunting grounds. I stand here to share my life experience as a person with a disability and talk about the importance of disability justice in social justice movements. Time and time again, voices of the disabled are left out of uprisings, making them inaccessible for folks of the full spectrum of disabilities. Not anymore. Collective Black liberation is not collective if Black disabled lives don't matter. They do. Black disabled lives matter. Say it with me. Black disabled lives matter. We see this during the pandemic. The Black and indigenous communities are disproportionately being impacted by illnesses and health disparities. From Chicago to the Navajo, 14% of Black Americans have a disability, and 17.4% of Natives and Alaskan Natives have disabilities, compared to 9 to 13 of white Americans. The lack of access to resources and opportunities is the driving force for systemic racism, racist policies, and racist ideas that continue to destroy our communities of color, specifically the Black and indigenous communities. And no more. No more disparities. I want to see the movements that center access at the forefront. That means prioritizing access above all, because when our disabled, our elders are ill, are sick, and our most marginalized are nurtured and fostered, our communities are the most resilient. So I ask all of you, what are you doing about it? What do your friends look like? What do your coworkers look like? What does your board look like? What does your leadership look like? And what do they all value? Is there a Black voice at the table? Is there an indigenous voice at the table? Is there a disabled voice at the table? Are they being heard or are they being spoken over? I ask you these questions so you hold yourself accountable, hold those in your lives accountable, and move forward towards collective liberation for Black lives. I ask you this to move with us in the solidarity so people with disabilities are prioritized, especially our Black and indigenous relatives. Repeat after me, disabled, not disposable. Disabled, not disposable. Access is love, Black Lives Matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for listening to Vasu. He's incredible, and he's also the reason we have an ASL interpreter here. You know, it's easy for us who aren't disabled to live our lives without thinking about others, just like it's easy for white people to live their life without thinking about people of color. You know, I might be a Black, gay, Jewish woman, but I still have privilege. So if I can recognize my privilege, you should recognize your privilege too. Our next speaker is Dr. Cora Neuman. They are a public health expert and the founder of the Global First Ladies Alliance and We Are Montana. Cora grew up here in Bozeman and has spent her career partnering with rural and Native communities to increase access to quality health care, including during this current COVID outbreak. Cora lives in Bozeman, surrounded by 4 generations of family, from her grandmother to her 2 teenage children. She most recently ran for U.S. Senate, stepping out to support Governor Bullock when he announced his candidacy. Let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much, and I'm going to keep it quick. Those were some of the most beautiful speeches I've ever heard, and I am so blessed and honored to be here today. So I'm going to keep it short, and I'm going to speak mostly to the white people in the crowd. Starting with a quick story. In 1999, I was 24 years old, and my friend and I were crossing the street. She was a Black woman. Out of nowhere, a cop car pulls up right at our knees, and both of us thought, they're going to run into us. She very subtly and gently put her hand up as if to say, whoa, don't hit me in the knees. Within seconds, the lights flashed, the cops jumped out of the car, told her to put her hands in the air, and before we knew it, she was getting arrested. I stepped in and said, if you're going to arrest her, you have to arrest me. And their response, ma'am, please step back. They would not, or they refused to arrest me because of the color of my skin. I followed her to the station. They let her go because, of course, she'd done nothing wrong. She came out humiliated and terrorized. I knew about racial injustice in my life, but until that moment, I had never witnessed up close and personal, and I did not experience it personally. I witnessed it. The terror that our Black, Indigenous, and people of color neighbors and friends experience. We must put our bodies on the line to protect our brothers and sisters. I am going to quote MLK and say that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And we are seeing that across this country right now in such clear daylight. It's always been there, but we're witnessing it right now. After that incident, I went on to read the books, have conversations, convene racial justice action networks. This is like the last 20 years. And I've tried to do the work. I have so far to go, but I've tried to do the work. And one thing that has come up over and over again is that we white people must put our money and our mouths, our action and our money where our mouths are. You've gotten incredible guidance from all of the speakers here, so I don't want to be repetitive, but what I can tell you right now, money is power. We need to hire Black, Indigenous, and people of color. We need to invest in Black and Indigenous companies. We need to make sure that our organizations and companies have diverse leadership at the top, and if that means that you need to step aside, step aside. Mishaela made a beautiful plea. She said, she reminded all of her brothers and sisters of color here today to remember to rest. White people, we need to let our brothers and sisters rest. This is our work. This is our work now, and I want you to hire people of color, invest in companies of color, sign this pledge, and don't just sign it, implement it, because that's where the real work is. I want you to consider giving until it hurts, because no amount of sacrifice that we as white people can make will ever even touch the tip of the iceberg of the pain and terror that our brothers and sisters feel on a daily basis. Give until it hurts. The last thing I'm going to say, and I'm just blown away. I grew up in Bozeman, and I could never have dreamed that this would be happening here. The last thing I'm going to say is, white people created racism. It is on us to dismantle it. And the only thing that's going to get us there is action. So I want white people, last thing, I want white people in the crowd to put your hand on your heart. I'm already getting messages from my friends of color across the country saying, just like so afraid that this is going to peter out. They're like, everybody feels good now and everybody's in the streets, but what's going to happen in a month from now? So I want all of the white people in the crowd to put your hands on your heart and say with me, I commit to action 3 times. I commit to action. I commit to action. I commit to action. Let's go!
Are you ready to step up? Louder! Are you ready to step up? All right, we are going to ask these businesses to sign this freedom pledge and commit to anti-racism, commit to changing their policies, commit to supporting the BIPOC of this community. Can I get a hell yeah? Okay, I want you guys to think about what it would mean for these policies to be implemented, for this action to take place like Cora was talking about. I want you to think about the changes you want to be made in your community and what it looks like a month from now, what it looks like a year from now, 10 years down the road, how how you talk to your family and your friends about Bozeman and how Bozeman has changed. And we're gonna sing a song to talk about this, all right? It's called Don't You Want to Go to That Land Where I'm Bound, all right? And this song, sing it when you think about that ideal world. Think about that dream that we all have when we really are equal, when there's equity, when there's justice, when we're all safe. All right. I'm going to point to myself and say a line, and when I point at y'all, I want you to sing it back, okay? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land? 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 Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? All right, I want you all to join in with me when you feel comfortable. And I want some of y'all to clap, get a rhythm going. And remember, it's not about the words, it's about the feeling, it's about the energy, it's about how we all want to go to that land. All right, don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Social justice. Social justice in that land where I'm bound. Social justice in that land where I'm bound. Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Collective liberation, collective liberation in that land where I'm bound. Collective liberation in that land where I'm bound. Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter in that land where I'm bound. Black Lives Matter in that land where I'm bound. Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land? Don't you want to go to that land where I'm bound? So do you guys want to go to that land? All right, next, I'm going to bring our lovely Aru over here to tell us about some logistics. She is also a person of color who has been working with us since the very beginning. Give her a round of applause.
Thanks.
Hey everyone, how you doing? You ready to march? Okay, I'm gonna explain some logistics about how we're actually getting from here to Main Street and how we're actually going to act. So in just a second, we're going to split this crowd in half, sort of like we did last time, for those of you that were here. This half is going to turn left and walk down Church. This half, can y'all raise your hands? Yeah, great. This half is gonna cross the street. This half is gonna cross the street
turn left, walk down church. Y'all got that? Great, there's more. When we get to Main Street, we're going to all turn left. And starting at Rouse, we're going to start sitting down with our backs against the businesses, single file. We are not blocking the sidewalk. We are not blocking intersections. We are not blocking entrances. I'm going to just quiz you on that. Are we blocking entrances? No. Are we blocking the sidewalk? No. Are we blocking intersections? No. Great, you got it. The way that we're going to do this is that the people at the very front of the march, can I get someone as an example? Lila, can you come up here? The people at the very front of the march, if I'm walking down Main Street this way, the people at the very front of the march are going to start by sitting down. The person right behind them is going to walk forward, probably 6 feet that way, and then sit down. And the person behind them is going to walk forward another 6 feet and sit behind them that way. So we are going down Main westward. People got that? Great. If you get confused, follow the people in the orange shirts and vests. They will tell you what to do. Couple more small announcements. The people in the orange shirts and the vests are their crowd marshals. They will tell the crowd where to go and when. The people in the green shirts are your de-escalators. If you see someone who is trying to agitate or escalate anything that is going on here, find a de-escalator. Do not engage with them directly. Are you going to engage with them directly? No. Amazing. Yes. And then the last people you need to know are the people in the blue shirts. Those are going to be our police liaisons. If you see policemen or policewomen, you don't need to engage with them either. Our police liaisons are the ones in charge of talking to the police. Got that? Amazing. You guys are great. Once we get to Main Street, and once we are all sitting down, we are going to have 9 minutes of silence for George Floyd, in honor of the 9 minutes that he was kept on the ground, unable to breathe. Thanks. After that, we have a team of people who are ready to deliver the Freedom Pledge to every business on Main and Mendenhall. And we are going to go into those businesses and ask them whether they are ready to commit to anti-racism and sign the Freedom Pledge. When we have someone sign on, we want to celebrate that. So we're going to have a chant that we're going to chant all the way up and down Main when we get someone to sign on. It's pretty straightforward. Basically, for example, if the co-op signed the Freedom Pledge, the way that it would go is, co-op signed, they stepped up. Ready to try it with me? Co-op signed, they stepped up. Amazing. We are going to pass that chant all the way down Main, and at the courthouse there will be someone ready to write down every signatory we got. Y'all ready to change Bozeman? Y'all ready to change Bozeman? Great. Jess, I'm passing it back to you.
Okay, everybody, we're going to start in just a few minutes, but like last time, I'm going to do a lovely parting of the sea. Everybody down here next to the chairs, I want you to move towards the edges, please, so we can get people up in front for this crowd. Thank you so much. My people of color, you can stay where you are. You're good. All right, keep spreading. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we're going to have our Black Indigenous people of color up on this stage with our banners going to the front. Please let them pass in peace and start this whole march. And then everybody on this side, follow this street. Everybody on that side, the other street, like Aru said. Please remember to listen to the people in orange vests. Listen to your BIPOC. All right, let them pass, and then we're starting this rally. Let's go!
inside to keep black and brown folks safe. Please stay on the outside, white folks. Black and brown folks come in, and then make sure white folks stay on the outside. Go ahead. Join them.